Hi there, everybody. Happy Monday to you. Computer system seems to have a case of the Mondays as well. When you click things and then you just get the circle or the loading symbol for 30 minutes, I think it's about time to restart. So that's what we went ahead and did. Hopefully you can hear me okay now. What I want to take you through is not just a radar analysis, but we're going to go through what's going to happen from here in terms of these wild storms that we've got this morning. For some, nothing severe right now. That's the good news. Severe storm back towards DuPage County and Will County in Illinois, but overall, these are just strong thunderstorms, getting some good soaking rain. And once you know it, if you remember last night's broadcast, we were showing you just kind of the area in Northwest Indiana just hasn't seen any rain, whereas everyone around us has had 2 to 6 inches over the last week or so. And the good news is this is falling right over where that area is that hasn't seen any rain. So it's just amazing how Mother Nature works in terms of balancing things out. But we are getting the rain now, and a lot of other spots are not. So here's what we're dealing with right now. Again, there is not a severe threat really any longer with this. I'm going to continue to keep my eye on some of these storms. They're just strong at this point. We've lost the damaging winds. When they were coming across the lake, they were producing pretty strong wind, and that's because oftentimes, this is the reason why, Lake Michigan doesn't have a lot of friction to it, right? It's pretty smooth surface, a little choppy at times, but there's not a lot of things to slow that wind down. Whereas when it gets inland, it's, running up against buildings. You've got the dunes that has to go up. There's a lot of things it's running into, trees, all that good stuff. That helps to slow the wind down at times, especially when you have a line coming across the lake. And so the winds were a lot stronger out over Lake Michigan. We had some real strong winds along the lakeshore counties, and then things are starting to kind of subside a little bit as it heads down to the south and east. But still have some strong thunderstorms across the area, but these are nothing special. They really are just good old downpours coming down with some thunder and lightning out there as well. We've had a little bit of hail. The one cell to watch again is back here just off towards our west. That will get into southern Lake County and northern areas of Newton County here shortly. That storm is stronger than the rest. Otherwise, this is just a line of some pretty heavy rain moving through, okay? So that's what we've got going on this morning. What I do want to talk about is kind of where we go from here, rest of the day, right? So this line will continue to head down towards the south and east. The colors I have on here, if you're not familiar with those, that's the CAPE. That's the amount of energy the atmosphere has. And you notice we had quite a bit this morning, but it's gotten a lot lower because our atmosphere is worked over with these storms. This is getting into an environment that's not exactly conducive to support severe weather, but this line will likely hold together as it heads downstate, heads over into Ohio. There's not a ton of instability in Indiana. There's quite a bit as you get up into southern Michigan, so that portion of the storm will continue to go. But for us here locally, I don't expect this storm to do a whole lot as it continues down towards the south. We're going to clear out for a little bit, but out towards our north and the west, there's a lot of cloud cover. This is your satellite picture here, and a cloud cover coming off of some action off towards the north and the west of that. And so we're going to stay pretty stable over the next couple hours as it looks right now. And I think we'll enjoy a fairly quiet Monday after this line gets out of here. And then our attention will turn towards the north and the west as we get towards the afternoon and the evening hours, all right? And that's come from the actual low pressure itself that's draped along this front. So we've got a frontal boundary that's trying to get through. It's making good headway now, but it's going to get back off towards the north this afternoon and evening as this low pressure comes in. And you can see what the modeling does. This really isn't much change over our broadcast last night. We have a quiet midday, we have a quiet early afternoon, and then later on the evening, here's your frontal boundary approaching. There's lots of lift in the atmosphere. We could spark some storms later on this afternoon and evening, okay? Any of these storms could be strong to severe. We'll see how much we recover as we get into the afternoon. That's going to be one of the keys. And then you notice how there's just a ton of stormy action late this evening into the overnight to our north. We may get clipped by some of this as well. Remember, the modeling for this morning showed the storms pretty much in the same location, and they've developed on that heat and humidity further south than expected. So I could see us getting some more storms here tonight into tomorrow morning off of this complex to the north. But there's a severe threat with that as well, and then we're out of it. All right. So in terms of storm threat the rest of the day, we're talking, I think, pretty quiet weather through midday and early afternoon. And then we'll start to watch the radar off towards the northwest for afternoon into the evening and then overnight development. There should be quite a few things to watch to our north and the west. Bulk of the action I'm still feeling is going to be up towards Wisconsin with this. Wisconsin, Illinois, but we'll see. I mean, this one again developed a little further south. And so why wouldn't, this evening's activity? We'll see. But here's what we're dealing with right now. Again, not expecting widespread severe weather. We have a couple stronger storms in here still, but overall, this isn't really doing anything crazy. All right, we've had some gusty winds, and the cell that's getting ready to head into Lake County, that's packing a little bit of a punch. We've seen some northern development to that as well. So Lake County, you're not quite done yet. Newton, Jasper County, you're probably going to get a pretty good dose of some rain and maybe some strong winds as that moves through. LaPorte County, you're done with this batch. We've got a few little showers trying to develop on the backside of that, not severe. Porter County, you're about done as well. Pretty good soaking rain right now, but the severe threat's over for you for now. And then our attention will turn off towards the north and west for that action up in Minnesota. Okay, so that's where we stand right now. If you guys have any questions or reports, go ahead, throw them in there. I'd be happy to share those. And then we'll get you on your way here on this Monday morning. Just wanted to provide you an update, let you know everything's going to be all right with this line moving through, okay? Jill, good morning to you. Tom says only rain in Munster, no wind. That's great, Tom. Thanks for that update on that. We had a little bit of wind north of you as that was coming off the lake, but bulk of it was really LaPorte County and Porter County coming off the lake with that wind. Jeff, hi to you. Dave says barely even got the driveway wet in St. John. Nice rain in Maryville. Yeah, what a difference, right, between one spot and the next. This next batch should get you pretty well in St. John area. We've got pretty good rain forming just northwest of you right now. Should bring a good downpour in for sure. Linda finally got the notification. She's got everything set up. Linda, you are good to go from now on. I'm glad you got that set up. Yeah, Laura says it got pretty scary in the Portage area. Much needed rain, though. We certainly do need the rain. We need anywhere from really 1 to 2 inches over the last week and a half or so to make things kind of even. Mindy, you're welcome. Have a great day. Susan, you as well. Linda says coming down pretty good in Lake Station. Much needed. Savannah says got pretty wicked in the Chesterton area. Yeah, you got hit probably the hardest, Savannah. Nothing too crazy, but I know it got pretty windy out there with that. And you had sheets of rain, kind of looked like a hurricane. Speaking of hurricane, Florida. But there's that. And then Debbie says got over an inch in my rain gauge. Very happy. Debbie, that's awesome. You could just hear the lawn rejoicing outside right now. It's kind of how it was. The Portage to Michigan, Olivia, that's funny. I hope you're okay. The Portage to Michigan City drive was not my favorite part of the summer. That's very accurate here this morning. Your drive back should be okay, depending on when you leave. Michelle says on our YouTube channel, no rain in DeMont yet. Michelle, it's coming. We'll see I think it'll hold together. You should get a good soaking down there. Not expecting anything severe for you. Melissa asked, worth trying the fair this afternoon? Melissa, I think so. Yeah, I think you'll be okay. We should get a nice quiet set of weather here. Nice quiet set of hours is what I mean. We've got to keep eyes on it. And here's why. We've got a northwest flow. Anytime there's a northwest flow, there's no help from computer models. But this one, from what I can tell, and I mean, what I know meteorologically, this is taking a lot of energy out of the atmosphere. All right. It's going to try to recover to our north and west. So we'll need to keep an eye on the radar northwest of us from all these little waves that are kind of moving in. But we should quiet down for a while. I would say the earlier, the better. In terms of getting in that trip to the Lake County Fair. All right. Joanne says nothing in Wheatfield. We've still got a little bit of time here, Joanne. It's coming your way. Nothing crazy, just some rain. Maxwell got some lightning pictures. Awesome. And Ethan's on. Hi, Ethan. Thanks for joining us here. We're getting ready to wrap things up here, buddy. But we've got this line of storms that will continue out towards the east, and we'll need to keep our eye on the northwest to see what else comes in this way. Okay. Ethan, I don't think so. I think we'll see more development. This is a pretty decent wave coming in. I mean, remember, the atmosphere is fluid, so this is a ripple coming through the atmosphere, and we're heating up now. There's plenty of instability out over the lake. I think this line or the energy from it, if this does start to fade, the models fade this complete line, and I think they're fading it too quickly. But as it moves in, it may fade, but that energy is still there, and I think that'll pop perhaps some downpours and maybe some storms as that line moves in. And that would be not too long, early this afternoon as it looks right now. So I'd say 2-3 o'clock. We'll keep an eye on it for sure. Dave, you're welcome. Debbie, thanks a lot. Josh has got dark out with rain in Wheatfield. Thanks, Josh, for that report. That rain is coming pretty close to you now. Not expecting, again, anything severe for you. There's still some stronger thunderstorms embedded with this, but the bulk of the energy with this whole entire system, including this cluster of storms moving through, is way up towards Minnesota still, right? So a lot of this is getting away from that main source of energy. It's being fueled by heat and humidity alone, which we've got plenty of, but overall it's getting away from that. So there's that. Okay, we do need the rain, Jennifer, for sure. And Carol's happy it finally rained in the Griffith area, for sure. All right, guys. Well, that's all I have for you. Again, this line's going to be pushing out. Should quiet down for a little bit, and then we'll turn our attention to the north and west this afternoon, okay? Pretty active pattern today, and then tonight, and then tomorrow, we'll say goodbye to the storm chances. Should be out of here, and we'll enjoy much, much lower humidity. So can't wait for that. All right. You guys have a wonderful day. We'll be on it. We'll continue to keep you updated on regionweather.com and on our Facebook page, okay? Get back to work, everybody. Want to see